Today is Tuesday the 6th of February 2024, and I'm in a slightly different position, different place, and it
Don't
is
say it.
tricky to get around. Of course I'm going to say it. That's what's happened in the motorhome today.
Gosh,
And it's a bit tricky getting around the table because Arthur ran out of talent, ran out of brain power.
Oi.
Basically, let me just
I'm always out of brain power.
grab the camera.
I'm always out of brain
Just
power.
over there is where we'd normally sit, but as you can see, we've kind of got a bit of a contraption going on, basically. And what he did, like a total idiot, was he left his water bottle, all right, that he knows leaks, on the sofa earlier on, and it emptied a chunk of itself on the sofa, and then didn't move the cushion in the daytime. So it's basically all damp, which is damp is the enemy, the devil of a motorhome. So basically, so there's the heating underneath there. So I've detached a pipe from there and sort of stuck it up underneath the cushion. So which is hence we've got this hole here because it's wet here. And then we're basically propping up the cushion, but basically also stopping the air from coming out along there. And hoping and praying that very soon it's going to be dry enough, because we're also sat on my bed. There we go. So yeah, so that's yeah, I mean that's a consideration of living in a motorhome ultimately, or spending any time in a motorhome. It's just not quite as easy to tidy up or fix things. There's less space. It's cold. It's cooler. I mean, we can put the diesel heater on and all that sort of stuff, but I really want to avoid doing that. But we have got it on now. There's less space to hang stuff out. More susceptible to damp. You don't have a washing machine or a tumble dryer or all the other bits and bobs, but then I suppose there's plenty of people in the world that don't have those things even in their kind of permanent bricks and mortar or whatever building they live in. So and that's, I suppose, yeah, what we need to do in here is just avoid avoidable problems, basically. So yeah, no drinks or bottles or anything like that on sofas. They just go on surfaces, all that sort of stuff. Even the bucket that you'll have seen in previous videos, it's kind of multi-purpose. It's for washing up, it's for having fun at the seaside, it's for filling up the lifesaver jerry can with water. But also, one of the original reasons for bringing it when we still had the house was in case one of us is sick and ill.
Blech.
And at least with the bucket, we can be sick into the bucket. If we were actually vomiting and being sick in here over things, it would be an absolute nightmare to clean up. But having the bucket does give us a bit of breathing space, basically, and that's just sort of thinking around potential problems and changing our lifestyle. That is kind of the reason that we're doing this, ultimately. So yeah, that's a bit different. You might be able to hear. Not sure if the mic on the phone is good enough to pick up the background noise, which is rain. So that's also a consideration, that you're much more intimately connected to the outdoors in a motorhome. So rain can be noisy. So we're back at the plot that we're staying at near Pershore, and we're pretty well protected here. There's big conifers, a big row in front of the motorhome, another big row to the side. There's not necessarily anything specifically behind, but there's a long row of trees all the way down the side, another row of trees the other side, kind of tree, but much lower down, fruit trees behind us. So it's a pretty well protected area. So this is kind of as good as it's going to get outside.
Pretty,
And so yeah, the considerations in preparing for more harsh weather is earplugs to
Well,
try
I
and
have ear defenders.
Arthur's got ear defenders.
Thank you.
But yeah, earplugs just to deaden a bit of the background noise. I hadn't had them for ages. As you might have seen in a previous video, I've only recently bought some earplugs within the last 2 weeks. Yeah, a bit of a no-brainer really. That's really helped me in the night. And not just for rain, but if it's windy, you're going to hear it. If a car or motorbike drive past or ride past, you're going to hear it. If people are talking outside, you're going to hear them. Birds in the morning, all that sort of stuff. So definitely having some good earplugs is really important. You can spend a shed load of money on like noise cancelling Bose earplugs that my friend has got, or you can go a bit cheaper. I forget how much mine cost. Maybe I'm guessing now. Actually, I will do a separate review on this, but maybe £20 or less, or just a tiny bit more. I can't remember exactly, but much more. They're not the original kind of foam buds that you push in and they expand. They're not those at all. They're much nicer ones that sit in the sort of cup of your ear. With different size buds depending on your ear size. I found actually I went initially with the smaller ones and tried sort of actually kind of twisting them into the hole in my ear, and that was actually hurting my ears because it was sort of putting pressure around the inside of my ears. So the ones I've got now actually just sit inside, like sort of what I'd call the cup of the ear, rather than being pushed into the hole. So so that works quite well, and that's probably it for today. We yesterday we tried getting the bus into Pershore. It's just a bit of a pain, to be honest. It's a lot of wasted time, especially when I need to be working. So and just other considerations, that the beauty of Oxwich, our amazing motorhome, is that everything's here. So when Oxwich is with us in Pershore, it means I can drive to Pershore. We can park up outside Arthur's school, easily go to the park. If it's a Friday, I can then, after Arthur goes to school, I can quickly grab the clothes washing. I can go and drop that off the laundrette. I can do a bit of work. I can go to the gym or go for a run. Have a shower. I can then quickly pop back to Oxwich and hang up my wet towel and my wet shorts. I can grab some food. I can do some yoga nidra, and then I can pop back to the office. It just all makes sense to do that. Whereas the day when we got the bus, just practical things, and again this is a consideration for an motorhome. We don't have radiators all over the place, so we went into Pershore on the bus. I went to the gym, and then I basically got my wet shorts and damp towel wrapped up in a bag for the whole rest of the day. And today, when I went to put my shorts on to go into the gym, they smelt really musty. So I was a bit
that's a bit like you.
I was a bit like, oh well, nothing I can do about it. But people would just have to think I smell musty. But there you go. So that's another consideration. It's getting smart with hanging stuff out, with drying stuff. But that's also a consideration, isn't it? The more things that are wet that you're going to hang in the motorhome, you're introducing more damp to the motorhome. So also driving Oxwich in and out of Pershore is an opportunity to open just put the 2 upstairs windows on the latch, so that gets some nice fresh air in, and helps to get some of the damp out. So that's kind of, yeah, the more that you can have air circulating around the motorhome coming in from the outside, the better, basically. So yeah, to be honest, in future we will drive in and out of Pershore. It's a very short journey, so we're not using much fuel. But it was a good experiment to see what it's like getting the bus, to have a practice. We know where the bus stops are, we know what the times are, so that is a potential. I suppose if we're going to maybe leave Oxwich at the plot and we're going to travel somewhere like up to Scotland for a week, then it would mean that we can leave Oxwich, jump on the bus and go back into Pershore to get the train, something like that. So yeah, so it's all good practicing this sort of stuff. I don't think there's sort of anything else to say. Just thinking, I'm looking in the kitchen, so we sort of done the same sort of thing again. We had today we were helping out at the plot, cleaning out a room, so we had a bit to do this evening. But basically, I'm sort of also predicting what we're going to do tomorrow, which is Arthur's booked another climbing session after school club at Red Point in Worcester. So I'm sort of thinking ahead that's an hour from 4:30 to 5:30. We've tried cooking food afterwards before, but then we're starting to get quite late, considering the aim is to actually be in bed doing 10-15 minutes of mindfulness and then reading a book to go to sleep, and at literally asleep before 9 o'clock. So today we do sort of one of the meals we do is chopped up potatoes, carrots, onions, and then use tikka masala sauce from Waitrose. Also organic broccoli, and just do it in a just sort of a one pot dish basically. So it meant we could have dinner today, and then we can have that tomorrow, and I can have it for lunch. So we're just trying to get smart. There's enough in this life that needs extra work, so where possible saving work, then we're sort of trying to get smart, and definitely cooking is one of those ways. Thing we just need to make sure is we've got enough washing up, because that needs a bit of washing up because the pan was quite dirty. That's that. Apart from that, we had a look yesterday at my sort of morning routine, but sort of done the same again. So over there is the pan with some water. I've actually run out of organic lemons, so that's just got some of the nice loose herbal tea from Empty Jars Refill Shop in Evesham. So I've got the some herbal tea in the pan. Let's just show you what I mean. So that's sort of soaking in there, so then I'll turn that on in the morning. I've got my glass of cup of water to have a swill and a swallow as soon as I wake up, ready to go with coffee. Got water ready in the bottom, and then I'll use this for the herbal tea, and then also the coffee afterwards. So yeah, we're sort of pretty set, ready to go. The other thing, I forget if I've shown, I think I might have, but I've got this Roland Go piano. So that is now a bit of a habit, which is a good habit of doing some practice each evening. And actually this Thursday is my second lesson with Chris Long in Pershore. I've been learning the circle of fifths, and hopefully when he quizzes me on that, I'll know a bit more than I did 2 weeks ago. So that's it for this one. We're sort of hunkering down because the weather is not so nice, and you can check back again for the next one, which may be tomorrow.